Hello and welcome to this episode of Retro for You, and thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Now, I haven't noticed already, this is Candy, my new cat. She's a young cat, we just adopted her, and she seems to like, as you can see, messing with everything. Unlike my older cat who didn't want to play, she just wants to play all the while and say hello. So everybody say hello to Candy, special guest. Now today's video is on this Acorn A3000. What's strange about this one is it has an AT power supply connected to it, but also an external hard drive. So I don't know what's going on in this. I don't know what's going to happen with this. What we're going to do is we're just going to crack on. I'm going to move the cat out of the way because she's causing nothing but mischief. She's walking along my bench. I'm sure she's going to knock a load of stuff off in a minute. And we're going to crack on and see if we can get this repaired. I've now put the cat out into the outside and she's enjoying the sunshine for a bit. So what we're going to do first is we're going to open this up and have a look inside and see what's going on. Going to have a look and see what screws are left in this thing, because I don't think there's that many screws left in it. Let's have a look inside. If we look at this, it looks like it's been quite highly modified. It looks like a memory expansion here, which I'm going to see if I can pull out. Yes, it is. It is an A3000. I think that's 2 megabyte of RAM expansion. So that is quite cool. It has actually been upgraded. And here we have a SCSI port, which we need to take out. We're just going to take this floppy drive out. Now this is wired to the PSU. So that was wired off there, and it looks like the internal power supply has been removed. Now I can't see any battery in here, which is a good sign, unless it's further down here. It's going to take this weird keyboard out, which I remember was a double one. The power supply seems to be plugged in some crude way. Let's unplug the keyboard. We're going to remove the keyboard. Now, there's a battery, and we're lucky it hasn't leaked. It's actually okay. I mean, you can have a look there now, and it looks superb, the board does. I think we're lucky with this board. We're going to take this SCSI adapter off, the Commodore one here. I guess that hard drive here has actually got the hard drive for this machine, so it'll be interesting to hook that up to the external SCSI later just to see what's on it. We're going to do that if I can find a SCSI lead. What we need to do first is just remove this. We'll remove the board, we'll clean the board up, we'll take this battery out because they're terrible, and I've got another one up the attic that is actually battery damaged and is quite bad, the board. So what I'll do is half inch of power supply out of that to put into this, and hopefully we'll make one good unit, which should be good because I'm quite interested in looking forward to this, especially to see what's on this hard drive here. So let me just crack on and try and get this lot removed. Now you can probably see there's a hell of a lot of dust and debris on there. And we do have this, which is the blower. So we're going to give that a blast off. Okay, so there is a big connection here that looked like it had the 0 volt going to it. and that was for the 5V. I understand what he's done with the power supply. He just basically plumbed it into the board, but I don't want that. I want this to be original. So these three here are the solder points for the battery. Now what I'm doing is putting some fresh solder and a lot of flux on it, hopefully to try and remove that easier. And then we'll get this desoldering gun. We've got one leg sort of stuck in now. You can see where the corrosion has gone through there. I think these two here are the earth pads, or maybe not. That goes there, so that's got a good trace on it still. Let's just see how well it cleans up now. So I just need to get myself some cleaning sponges and some tweezers. I think we're lucky because we've got this battery just in the nick of time. So the pads are okay on the top. We can check continuity later down to there. It should be fine. Now underneath we seem to have lost some pads, but we can fix that. So we lost a pad here, but that will just go to that via there. So all we got to do is to run a piece of Kynar wire from here round that leg. So that's easily done. And same here, it just goes to this leg here, which we still need to remove because it seems to be stuck in there. The machine itself doesn't look too bad. I think we're going to save this one. The power supply was plugged in. I didn't want to risk it, obviously. The battery is now removed. We'll just clean up around here. I'm going to spend some time cleaning the board overall and see if we can get it up to a better standard. Let's just see how we get on. I'll try and source a power supply this week. I'm sure I've got one up the attic. I need to go climb up there and just have a look myself. I'll source a battery for it as well, and we'll get that installed and we'll get those traces fixed underneath. I've got high hopes for this and I really think it may work. And I can't wait to see what's on that hard drive. So I shall carry on with this tomorrow. This is why I use PCBWay, the top quality boards delivered fast and done right. When it comes to turning a retro dream into reality, it all starts with a solid PCB, and that is where PCBWay comes in. You can start by browsing a huge range of shared community projects ready to go. Just add one to your basket, wait for the checks to go through, and then click order now. So once you've got your project that you want to build in your basket, then you're presented with a lot of options. The most important one being solder mask and what colour you want your boards. After that, you can also select whether you'd like an SMD stencil and, more importantly, assembly service. So if you're soldering it up to scratch, you can get PCBWay to make the board for you and send you your complete. How great is that? What you need to do now is wait a few days and promptly your parcel will arrive. All that's left to do once you get your package is to open it up, remove the well packaged boards, and also what's great is you always get a minimum order of 5 boards, so if things do go wrong like they generally do with me, I've still got another 4 chances of getting it right. So from projects small to big, PCBWay is the place to go. Did I also mention PCBWay not only does boards, it also does CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding. It's an absolutely amazing place. So don't forget to check out my link below and all new customers will receive a $5 bonus. Thank you very much, PCBWay. Today's job is to get rid of these keys. Well, not get rid of them, basically just clean them up. So what I'm going to do is pull all these keys off and stick them in the ultrasonic bath for a good clean. And then I'll probably end up retro brightening them as well, just to make them look a lot better. Now what I like about the Archimedes keys is they come off very easy.
Several days later.
So we're back on this board today. I've done the keyboard. I've got a replacement battery here. It's one of the coin cell. I know everybody doesn't like these. It's from Amiga kit, but it does the job for me and it lasts quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder that in place here, and then we're just going to repair those two pads underneath. A way to check this is good is you should have continuity from here, these two pins, to R7. Which I have. And the other side, which I have. And also R3 to this pin here. Which again I have. Fortunately this didn't have much damage. A lot of these do have a lot of damage. Now, for example, so this one here is an example of a bad board, and you can see the battery's exploded and it's just gone everywhere. It goes especially in these keyboard connectors here, which are fully green. Now to repair this would be a major problem, because all underneath as well, the tracks are all corroded and being eaten away. So this one will probably be used for spares. Now I do have another few at the attic which I need to look through, but I'm hoping they're not all like this one. So we're going to save as many as we can over the course of the year. So as I said before, we're going to fit a power supply, and here we have the power supply. Hi, it's now a few days later. Unfortunately, I lost my internet. With internet, I can't do YouTube. It was a problem down at the exchange end with a fibre. They had to change some connections, etc. they said, but now it's fully working. So I'm really happy to have my internet back, especially when England are playing tomorrow. So come on girls, good luck in the final against Spain. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to try this and turn this on. I did do some extra work on the keyboard. I fully stripped it down and cleaned the membrane down. I always seem to have trouble with these Archimedes keyboards. Drop me a comment down below if everybody else has this trouble with these keyboards. They seem to be the most unreliable keyboards ever. And you can't find any membranes for these for sale anywhere. So maybe we should just make one day. So we're just going to turn this on and see how it goes. I've had to link it up to the monochrome because that's all I've got. Unfortunately, I haven't got an RGB lead for this machine, but we should get something, hopefully. There you go, you can see it says 4 meg, which is this expansion here, so that's working, and it's come up with the OS. You can see here now we've got full screen, and it all seems to be working right. There's the apps which are built in. You've got your iConfigure for configuring hard drives. Now, I did plug that external SCSI in, but all that was on there was publisher. There was nothing else, so I didn't see the point in looking into that any further. So a bit of a wasted effort. I thought there was going to be more stuff on there, but there wasn't. What I did do is I loaded up my A3020 and I loaded hamsters onto a disk, so hopefully we're able to run that. So let's just have a look. I think it's that one there. Now, I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know how it's going to grab with this video grabber, but it looks like it's loading. And a disk read error. I'm sure we can get past that. I think it just needs a bit of a clean on the old disk driver. You can see it's loaded. So what we do now is we move the mouse down to here. and hopefully I recognise that music from an Amiga game, I think. Maybe not. So although it's in grayscale, you can actually see the game is actually running. It reminds you of Amiga game, this music. I can't remember what. Flood, perhaps. So I think the object of this game is to squash as many things as you can. Now I did see some like glitching there. Is that normal, or is that because it's on the actual, what's his name? Doesn't look good, does it? I need to try it on a proper RGB lead. Let's just press return. So the idea, yes, is to squash the critters. I don't know what that glitching was. Oh, bonus for getting a cat. So there's a rabbit there, is there? Yeah, and we'll just squash that one, and it looks like a frog. There you go. Level done. Now I'm just going to leave the video here. I've just quickly stuck the top on so you can see how it looks. It looks quite good actually. I'm quite impressed with that, the way it's turned out. Considering it came with a power supply and a hard drive hanging out the back of it, it's now a fully working Archimedes with just a few little bits and bobs to finish off. Now there's plenty more retro stuff on the way, so please stick around and carry on watching this channel. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, because believe it or not, I've actually hit 2,500 subscribers. So thank you everybody. And also a big thanks to everybody that hits that 99p subscription service membership that helps towards running the channel. I just had a new member, so big thanks to you. I know who you are, you're from Scotland, and I repaired your Mac. Don't forget to check out my friends down below, the likes of Captain Commodore, 8-bit Retro Refix, and Josib. They all do great things. And if you like retro, go along and check their channels out. Big thank you again to PCBWay, and on that note, I shall bid you farewell and see you next time on Retro for You. See you soon guys, bye!